bottom line answer is never, no one, and I don't care. That's what their answer has to be. As opposed to saying, hey, in the 150 years or so of natural gas and petroleum fuels we know we have, in that time period, we're going to find a solution. We're going to find something new. American exceptionalism, the creativity will allow us to do that. Coal. We're the Saudi Arabia of coal. And yet, because environmental regulations will not allow us to produce the new age jet fuel, which is liquefied coal fuel, we can't produce it here. We got to buy it from Saudi Arabia and other places. What's that say for our security and defense capabilities if they decide to cut us off? We can do it environmentally sound, safe, and be independent from the rest of the world. And then you think about nuclear, and you're harking back to the words of one of the founders of Greenpeace, who for the past 4 years has been quoted as saying, the greenest form of energy that provides no global warming problem at all is nuclear power. Well, if Greenpeace is on our side, why don't we go for it? And go over to France and say, Monsieur, Mademoiselle, could you give us the plans for your nuclear power plants that you have all over the country and safely operate and supply 75% of your energy? Why not? So my bill would offer that. Mark Schauer says, we're going to charge you for carbon. We're going to make you pick out of the sky carbon credits. We're going to allow Al Gore to become richer and richer because he's selling carbon credits and building a 21,000 square foot mansion in California. I mean, ridiculous. So the differences between us, and we could go on other things, the stimulus bill that he voted for, I voted against the financial bailout, if you want to compare similar things. The Pelosi budget with 9,000 earmarks, pork barrel earmarks, versus my opposition to budgets, and not voting for the pork barrel earmarks. And then when you get down to the issue of all the rest of the cap and trade and health care, it's a complete opposite. Mark Schauer does not want to run against me. That's why some of his supporters have now coming out and endorsed one of my primary opponents, Joe Schwartz, in fact, endorsed him yesterday, and said that if Walberg wins, I'll support Schauer in the general election. If Rooney wins, then I'll have to reevaluate whether I support Schauer or Rooney. Now that causes me some concerns about the fact that the Schauer team is trying to pick and endorse the candidate that they want in the general election, because you can deal with perception issues, has no record. I'm the only principled, proven conservative in this race. I say that because it's a fact. I'm the only one that has ever voted on an issue, has a record, and has run for office and held office. One other question I'll answer before I give my final points, and we'll go to question and answer and comments. And that's the fact of career politician. Walberg's been in a representative office in the State House 16 years and 2 years in Congress, 18 years altogether. But some people forget that 20 years of my life has been in the private sector, including 8 years between being in the House, the State House versus the U.S. House. I've lived under laws I passed and under laws I fought against. I've worked as a pastor for 10 years. Don't hold that against me. But that certainly prepared me for politics, Pastor. You know, I have 2 of them here today. Where's the other one? I have 3 of them here. Yes. And I tell people when they say, how in the world could you stand in politics after you got out of pastor? I said, have you ever been to a church board meeting or a congregation meeting? Politics are nothing. I can't say that really. I had 2 great churches, 2 great churches. But spent time there. I spent time as an administrator in higher education, private higher education. Spent time in law enforcement, as U.S. Steel worker, a number of things over those course of those 20 years. But I think more importantly, I've lived in this district. I know the people in this district. I've been Boy Scout leader. I've been in Kiwanis with them. I've made stories that farmers tell about my farming capabilities, what I can do with implements in the field. And yet, this is my home. And to represent this district is a privilege because I represent a lot of people I consider family and friends at the very least. And And that's a different sort than we think of generally as a career politician.